Well, last but not least, Szonja Csörgõ, Director of IP and Legal Affairs of the European Seed Association, and I believe you're going to touch on the issue of innovation for sustainability.
Thank you very much. Indeed, that's right. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the Secretary of the International Treaty for inviting us, or me, today to talk a little bit about what the seed industry, or at least the European seed industry, is doing in terms of voluntary benefit sharing, and how do we celebrate the International Day of Biodiversity. So, first of all, I would like to say a few words maybe about the organization, because you might not know all who we are and what we do. We are a regional organization representing the seed industry, at least 95% of the seed industry in Europe. And our main activity is to work on seed-related legislation with the European institutions and with international bodies as well, such as the International Treaty as well as the CBD. In terms of the treaty, I just would like to say a few words about how the sector sees the treaty. We, of course, have the CBD and the Nagoya Protocol and the treaty. And for the sector, the treaty is seen as a very important and a preferred tool when we talk about access and benefit sharing in relation to plant genetic resources. Not yet. In terms of the goals, how the sector would like to improve the treaty and use the potential of the treaty, because that was also the title of the session. We would like to improve the treaty's coverage and its implementation. We would like to increase the treaty's income, and we would like to improve the treaty's multilateral system in terms of using of its material. When it comes to celebrating the International Day of Biodiversity, this year we launched an online campaign, which we gave the title Innovation for Sustainability. And if you receive this presentation later on, if you click on the image, you will be guided directly to the campaign that we have done online. And if you want, you can also support the campaign. The topic of the campaign is basically to show the voluntary benefit sharing activities of the sector in Europe. However, I also would like to underline that we have launched this activity in Europe. Nevertheless, we are now expanding it to the global level together with the International Seed Federation. What is this project all about? There are a lot of activities of in-kind or voluntary benefit sharing, as you want, done by the seed industry, companies, individual companies all over the world, as well as national seed associations or regional associations such as us. And we wanted to gather all these projects in order to show how many of those are out there, and to present them in a way which basically shows all the stakeholders within this discussion that there is a lot which is already being done for a long time by the industry. So if you go and visit our website, you can have a look at this map, and all those leaflets represent individual projects, sometimes multiple projects in a number of countries. We basically have now a bit more than 60 projects on the website, and I'm very confident that we are going to have a lot more if we can expand also to the global level. We try to categorize these projects into several categories, and I would like to basically just show you a couple of those projects, focusing on some specific areas. Nevertheless, I would also like to say that our activities we categorized into provision of advice in relation to genetic resource management, concrete involvement in genetic resource management with gene banks. It's mainly characterization and maintenance work, where breeders contribute a lot to gene banks, providing material to the multilateral system via national gene banks, direct financial support, either to the treaty or to different projects, sustainable use of plant genetic resources, awareness raising about the importance of plant genetic resources, technology transfer, and capacity building. One of the projects which I wanted to show you is related to sharing knowledge and technology transfer and providing material to the multilateral system. It is a very nice public-private partnership. There's one more P there than it should be, in pre-breeding. And this currently it covers 3 crops: spring barley, apples, and perennial ryegrass. Nevertheless, it's a continuous project, so there might be new crops added to it. And it really is a partnership between universities in the Nordic countries, breeding companies, and Nordgen. They share the budget, half-half, and the results which are generated by these pre-breeding projects, the pre-breeding lines are shared among the partners, of course, and they are also provided to Nordgen, and they are made available under SMTA, so put into the multilateral system. Another area where I wanted to mention one voluntary benefit sharing activity we have done is the direct financial support to the benefit sharing fund of the treaty. Very recently, we provided 300,000 euros directly to the treaty in order to support the benefit sharing fund. The next one, please. And then there are a number of projects in relation to capacity building, which I think are particularly interesting for today's meeting, which I would like to show 3 of them, but I would really encourage those of you who are interested to have a look at all of them, because they are all very interesting and nice, and it's very difficult to select only a few. One of them is in Indonesia, which is actually a project done by a leading seed company in that area, East West Seeds. And it's aimed at improving the opportunities of vegetable growers in the lowlands in particular, where the conditions are particularly difficult. And so far, the project achievements are, they have done some digging of wells in order to install some pipelines to make more water available for irrigation as well as for consumption. They have provided manuals to vegetable growers on how to, on better vegetable cultivation techniques, and they made those available to many farmers. And they have also done other activities like planting of trees to make the environment greener and nicer. Another one which I wanted to show you is in Ethiopia. There are, by the way, multiple projects in Ethiopia. This is called Fair Planet, the project. And there are a number of partners to the projects, not only seed companies, but there are 5 leading vegetable seed companies who are partnering the project. And the aim of the project is to improve farmers' livelihoods via training mainly. There have been already a number of sub-projects completed and some nice achievements which you can also visit on the website of the project. Has been the facilitated access of smallholder farmers to seeds of very high quality vegetables, which are adapted to the needs of the farmers. And of course, providing material is one thing, but it's also very important to provide knowledge to the farmers how to use those seeds. And in this project, it has been done in a way that the training is given to the farmers to use those high-quality seeds with a minimum change or no change to their traditional practices. And the last one, please. And the last one I wanted to show you is also a very innovative way of benefit sharing, I would say. It's a project with one potato company based in the Netherlands called HZPC, working together with the International Potato Center in Peru. And the idea is to implement benefit sharing with custodian farmers in Peru in a new way, I would say. Their basic aim is to empower the farmers to organize themselves and to achieve a better representation of themselves in decision making. And for that, the company I mentioned basically made available a startup fund to the farmers in order to do whatever they want with that fund. And the first amount of money they have already used for the purposes they wish to. So these were the projects I wanted to highlight, but as I said, there are a number of those, and I think it's very interesting to have a look. So if you have time, if you're interested, I would encourage all of you to have a look. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much.